Hello and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess, and I'm here to give you my 3 favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em plays for Monday, July 1st, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog for an up to $250 deposit match bonus. Again, that's promo code DailyDog at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. All right, let's get right into plays, and I am going to be starting with a game that starts at 12:07 p.m. Pacific, 3:07 p.m. Eastern. That is the Astros against the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm going to be taking Hunter Brown higher than 5.0 hits allowed. Hunter Brown has cleaned it up after a tough start to the year, but I think that this number is just too low for a guy like Hunter Brown. He's given up 5+ hits in 3 of his last 5 starts, including 7 to the White Sox, who I talk about, I feel like every other day, that you need to fade them against righties in every way possible, and by fading them, usually you want to go over, or you want to go under hits allowed by whatever pitcher's facing the White Sox, but that did not happen when Hunter Brown faced them. He allowed 7 against this White Sox team. He had a 2 hit allowed start more recently than that, so it's not like he's just been on a total downswing. But I just think that this number's too low for a guy like Hunter Brown, especially in this situation where I expect him to have to go deep into this game, kind of regardless of how things are going. The Astros played an extra innings game that had a long rain delay in New York on Sunday, and they used 6 arms in that game. On Saturday they used 4, Friday they used 4, so 4 out of the pen on both of those days, I should say, on Friday and Saturday. So they had their travel delayed, they've used a lot of bullpen arms, and Hunter Brown has been a guy who has given them 6 to 7 innings for most of his starts in the last couple months. So I think that he's going to be in this game for a while. And again, I just don't think that he's necessarily a guy that should be getting 5.0 hits as his hits against number, just because he's not elite. 5.0 is like on the verge of 4.5, and 4.5 is like where we see the true best pitchers in the league in advantageous matchups. And I don't think Brown is quite there yet. I don't think he's consistent enough to do that. Obviously, the Blue Jays are a better team versus lefties than righties, but it's not like it's not like an easy outing for anybody going against this Blue Jays lineup. They still have a lot of power hitters. They've got a lot of good guys that can make contact on this team. So I think that this number is just a little bit out of whack. I just think that it's too low. And again, I just think that the Astros are going to have to let Brown suffer through it if he gets into some trouble. And also at the same time, Hunter Brown has found a way to navigate out of tough spots a couple times in the recent past, where he has given up 5, 6, 7 hits, but hasn't allowed a ton of earned runs. So he stays in the game and continues to allow more hits. So I think that this is just a good spot to attack. It's a flat multiplier as well, which I think is, again, kind of crazy. I think that this one's probably going to move before this game starts, just because I think just when people are cycling through the app, they're going to say, hey, wait, Hunter Brown is at 5.0? That's kind of crazy, and especially in a game featuring the Blue Jays, who have plenty of stars. So I'd say take this one as fast as possible, get that flat multiplier as fast as possible, and the play was Hunter Brown higher than 5.0 hits allowed against the Blue Jays. Next, we are going to another leg, and we're only doing a 2-leg slip today for our official plays, by the way. Last week was kind of rough. We've been on a little bit of a cold streak, and I'm doing the daily dongs now, so I feel like I'm giving enough action out to make it entertaining, to help you guys get through your day and have a little action as the games progress. So I'm just doing a 2-leg slip today, and my second leg is going to be Jackson Chourio of the Milwaukee Brewers to have higher than 1.5 total bases against Austin Gomber and the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field in Colorado. Jackson Chourio, if you haven't watched him, he's bats back of the order for the Brewers. He's only 20 years old. He's got tons of power. He's got speed. He could potentially be a big star in this league one day. And he's got hits in 7 consecutive games. He's gone higher than 1.5 total bases in 5 out of those 7 games on this streak. And in the month of June, he was on fire. He batted .314 and had a slugging percentage of .543. He's got a bunch of home runs in the last several. I think he had 4 home runs in June, and he's only got 9 on the year. So obviously he's heating up at the right time. And let me just detour real quick about futures markets. I know that this is mostly a underdog show, but I'll just throw some numbers out there. If you look around, you can find about 85 to 1 on Chourio to be the NL Rookie of the Year. Obviously, I'm not saying go put your mortgage on it. I'm not saying that, this is going to be your ticket to winning the lottery. But I'm just saying that the way that he played in June is going to turn some heads. Obviously, the Brewers aren't a huge market team. Obviously, there's some other rookies that have caught the media's attention earlier in the process, especially Paul Skeens, who's like a minus 240 favorite to win the NL Rookie of the Year. I'll just say he's a pitcher, and things can turn on pitchers quick for a variety of reasons. I don't want to jinx him. I like the Pirates. I like Skeens. I think he's awesome to watch. I definitely don't have anything bad to say about his ability. Just saying that sometimes stuff out of your control affects pitchers. And, Jackson Merrill is another rookie who's obviously flourishing for the Padres. He's been really hot as well. He's had some big moments in the last several games. So I think that him at plus 450, makes sense. Maybe it's a bit short because, like I said, Chourio has heated up like crazy in the last month. And the Brewers are probably going to have an easy go in this division. But if somebody challenges them, if they start to get the spotlight on them in this division and Chourio continues to play this well at age 20, like I said, the guy hit a grand slam the other day. I think 85-1 is pretty crazy just because of the pace that he is on in this last month. If he keeps it up, he's going to be a lot shorter than 85-1. That's all I'll say. He will do some damage in that odds board. And doesn't hurt that he's going into a series against the Rockies, which obviously is a very friendly park for a guy with power and a guy with speed. So his numbers might continue to improve through July, at least in this first series. I'm taking higher than 1.5 total bases for Chourio. This two-leg slip on Underdog is 2.55x. Chourio is a 0.85x multiplier. So you're not getting the full 3x on a two-leg slip here. But again, I like both these plays. I want to book a win on this Monday. So let's take higher than 5.5 hits allowed by Hunter Brown of the Astros and higher than 1.5 total bases for Jackson Chourio. I will say there was a third play that was on the radar. I won't spend much time on it because it's early, or at least it's early-ish. It's the last women's match of the game or match of the day in Wimbledon. Emma Navarro is playing against Qiang Wang, a Chinese player who has basically been out of major tennis for 2 years. She's been playing ITF level events for the last several months in China on hard court. She hasn't played on grass like Wimbledon since Wimbledon in 2022. So I think that she's going to be in a tough spot here. I think Navarro should be able to run away with this one handily. There's a lot of ways to attack it, whether it's less than 6 games lost for Navarro, less than half of a set loss. My favorite thing would probably be higher than 4.0 double faults plus aces. I think that Navarro can definitely try to shorten this match. She just played in a final on Saturday. Lost that, so she might be a little tired, and she might just try to, take the racket out of Wang's hand by getting some aces here, but also she could be tired and hit some double faults. I think 4 is a pretty low number for this venue on this surface, so I would definitely consider playing that. It's not an official play, but if you want some tennis action, the last women's match of the day, Emma Navarro versus Qiang Wang, higher than 4.0 double faults plus aces for Navarro is what I was looking at. Now, let's get to everyone's favorite part of the day, the daily dongs. And my dongs are pretty crazy today. I literally maxed out the multiplier for a 3-leg dong slip on Underdog. So take that information as you wish. Maybe play this in a couple different creative ways. Maybe if you don't like one of my plays, then just use 2 of them. But the first one is going to be Mark Vientos, the 24-year-old on the Mets. The dude's doing big things. He had 7 home runs in June. He's had 4 in his last 6 games. He hit one against Mackenzie Gore earlier this season. He is in a good spot. He is hot. I like Mark Vientos to have higher than a half of a home run against the Nationals in this game. Next, we're going to George Springer. This is the big dog, 6x multiplier. The dude is swinging the bat really well right now. He had a slow start to the year. People kind of wrote him off. He's been getting home runs lately. He's got hits in 4 consecutive games, 3 home runs in his last 6. So, again, I think that 6x multiplier for George Springer against Hunter Brown, who Hunter Brown can give up the long ball. And also, I think Springer has a home run off him as well in his career. So, again, whatever. It's not that many at-bats, not that many plate appearances for Springer versus Brown. But, hey, he's done it before, so he has that confidence in his back pocket. And the last one, I was gushing over Jackson Chourio all day. Earlier on the show, I'm doing it again. He's on my dinger slip. Daily dong for Jackson Chourio. He is getting 3x multiplier to go over half of a home run against Austin Gomber and the Rockies. Listen, Austin Gomber is better at home than he is on the road somehow, but he still gives up a ton of contact, and I think Chourio is going to be licking his chops in this venue to make big things happen. These three plays together, if you play them as a standard, it's 150x. It actually should be about 208x or 216x, I think if my math is correct. So you're getting kind of a less expected value than you should by putting these three together on Underdog. That said, if you play it as a flex, which I think is a great way of doing it, you still get 18x if two of the three hit, and you get 75x if all three hit. And if you want to just play, like if you don't like Vientos or whatever, and you just play Chourio and Springer, that's 54x. And if you play Springer Vientos, that's 54x. So there's ways of playing it. These are my three. These are my dong plays. 75x on 3 out of 3 on this flex play in the daily dong segment of the show. Those were Mark Vientos of the Mets, Jackson Chourio of the Brewers, and that was George Springer of the Blue Jays. I didn't say that one. I didn't say his team. So those are the plays of the day. The official show slip, 2 legs. Hunter Brown, 5.0 hits allowed, higher than 5.0 hits allowed for Hunter Brown. Jackson Chourio, over 1.5 or higher than 1.5 total bases. That is a 2.55x multiplier, plus 155 in sports betting terms. And then in the daily dong segment, we're going Jackson Chourio, higher than half a home run. Mark Vientos, higher than half a home run. And George Springer, higher than half a home run. These three together on a flex slip pay 75 to 1 or 75x. And if only 2 of the 3 hit, you get 18x back. So let's get this. Let's hit these. Have a great day, and let's make some money.